Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. I'm a big believer in open houses. And I love this because I hear it all the time from agents who, I've never really heard it from a successful agent, but I've heard it from agents who are maybe newer in the industry, or maybe they're just not having success they want. They're like, yeah, open houses, that just doesn't work. And I know that they do, because I talk to agents like you every day or every other day that on the show that literally prove otherwise. But tell me about open houses. I know that you are like, no, open houses literally print money for you if you do them right. So tell us.
Yeah, so I'll just be really simple. You guys, the reason open houses don't work is because you're not hosting open houses. You're just hanging out in a house on a Saturday afternoon. Okay, there's very, very, very big difference, okay, in those two items. Last year for 2024, like you said, one of the hardest years for real estate, we paid out over $350,000 worth of GCI just from open house leads. Okay, so when I say we know open houses work, it's because I know for a fact that they work. I'm not here guessing. Okay, with you guys, I don't leave paychecks up to guesswork. Okay, it's just nobody should want to do that. So very simply, our open house, we call a mega open house. Okay, and it's because it is a mega open house, and it also implements in your brain that you're going to have a mega open house this week, and I'm not going to go just hang out on the couch, okay, for 2-3 hours. Our open houses start on Wednesday. Okay, so if I have an open house on Saturday, my job starts Wednesday, not Saturday morning, 1 hour before the open house, okay, when I show up. So just to kind of walk through some very basic steps, and we can deep dive, of course, if you want. We have Wednesday starts the dialing around the open house. So on average, we want to call 200 to 300 homeowners around that open house before the actual open house. And if you're on here and you're listening, you're like, oh my God, that's so many dials, there's so many of this. I have brand new agents on our team that close their first escrow in 30 days from dialing around an open house. Amazing. Our median price point is $865. Okay, so like they're doing just fine. And I promise you, it works.
So just to slow it down a bit. So we get an open house, we have a listing, we have an open house. Or maybe it's not even our listing. Maybe it's somebody else's listing in our office, and they're saying, hey, you can do an open house. Even better, right? So what Zach is doing is he's getting the phone numbers for all the people that are in the immediate surrounding areas because, well, and he's going to tell us why, but I'm going to tell you my idea why, because everybody's nosy and wants to see what's inside their neighbor's home, but also maybe it, obviously facilitates the idea of, maybe I should sell mine. But go ahead, tell us why that works.
All production is derived from one thing, and it's conversations. And so if I have a reason to call somebody instead of just a cold call, I'm going to take that reason. And so these calls are much easier than like calling a list of expireds, okay, or something like that, because I have a reason to call. Like I really do. And so we run the Pick Your Neighbor campaign. That's what we like to call it, aka be the nosy neighbor, pick your next person, et cetera. But I'll just drop the bomb. I'll drop the script, okay, on here right now. It's very simple. It's, hey, DJ, this is Zach. I'm actually selling your neighbor's house right over the street on 2334 Jupiter. I was calling to let you know that we're going to have a huge mega open house this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 4. There's going to be a lot more traffic than normal in the neighborhood. I just wanted to see by chance, do you know of anybody that wants to come see the house or move into the neighborhood? So we run the Pick Your Neighbor campaign, and they go, wait, what house? Or they go, no, man, like I'm good. I'm not selling. I go, no, I'm actually not calling you about selling. I'm calling you about picking your next neighbor. And they're like, oh, okay, what?
Love that.
Like, what is that? What does that mean? And so I just run them through it. You guys, most of these people are curious. You're trying to sell them on something. I'm just trying to create curiosity, is my first step, that we're doing here. And so we run the Pick Your Neighbor campaign. A lot of them say no, we don't have somebody, okay, that wants to come see the house. And then I do my backup, which is trying to get them into like a market report, inside of our system. So I go, hey, DJ, totally understand that you may not have somebody that wants to come see the house. What I'd like to do is, I'm already doing it for a few of your neighbors, is I make this really high level handcrafted report that I send out every single month. It shows homeowners exactly what's going on in the market, exactly what's going on in the community. And really, it just gives you all the information a homeowner should know about their home. Where should I send that? Text or email? No questions. It's going. So whether or not they have somebody for my open house is a no. I'm then going to get them in my database for a future listing. Okay. And it's not rocket science. That simple 2-minute call right there will bring you 12 to 15 people into your database per week. Easy. And those are sellers that know your name, know your voice, gave you a valid email. And we use Fellow. Shout out to Fellow. We use them for all of our market reports. And Ryan Young is amazing. So we just put them into Fellow. Yeah. and then they're in fellow and we're good. And we just follow up every like 90 days. It's super simple. But so that way you get people that come to your open house. Okay. You get to look like a listing agent, even if you're not. So for new agents, if you're not calling around open houses saying, I'm selling your neighbor's house, you're just missing your opportunity to brand as a listing agent. They don't know, who has the listing and who doesn't. Also, even if they know who has it, who's the impressive listing agent? The one calling the homeowners or the one with their name on the sign? It's the one calling the homeowners. Right. And then the third one is it gives you sellers in your database for future, transactions.
I love the idea too of picking your neighbor, because we all care who is across the street, right? Even if we're not going to be buddies with them, we want to at least feel like, oh, I like that person, if for whatever reason, or we certainly don't want to feel like I don't like that person. And even though you're right, they're not really going to have somebody probably ready to buy that house, it at least gets them thinking about, who do I know who would be kind of fun to live across? Like in a real subtle way, it's a fun exercise for them to go through in their mind, just because they're like, okay, I'm thinking all my buddies, any of them are moving right now, huh? And again, the odds of them actually moving into that home are few and far between, but that's not why you're doing it. But there's something psychologically kind of satisfying about thinking about, if I lived by my friends, how cool would that be? Like, it feels good.
Well, also where most agents mess up on this is they call looking for listings. An impressive listing agent doesn't call a neighborhood that they have a live listing in looking to create competition for themselves. It doesn't make sense. So I hear a lot of agents down, they go, Zach, hey, I'm calling them, I'm saying, hey, this is Greg, and I'm listing your neighbor's house right here. It's for sale right now. Have you had any thoughts about selling your house or looking at offers? I'm like, bro, we're way too early for that. That's after closing, that we can do that. An impressive agent is focused on that deal. And so I'm always trying to sell that house. Once they say no and they disqualify themselves from being a candidate for the house, now I can move into trying to be a listing agent, and talk to them about their home. But that's where a lot of agents miss that step, is people want to hire an impressive listing agent to sell their home. They're not trying to just call an agent that's calling around, yada, yada. So don't call around for more listings in the neighborhood. Call just being the impressive listing agent trying to sell the home, because that's your job in the first place. And they feel that on the phone. And that's why they remember you, and they don't remember the random guy that sold the home in the neighborhood like 30 days prior.
Plus, they're now thinking, wow, this guy's like really a go-getter. Like, he's literally calling all of us in the neighborhood. Like, no other agents really do that. So, I mean, the reality of it is, it's not like there's a lot of other competition. If there's another open house next door to your open house, odds are that person across the street is getting one phone call yours, and they're probably like, hey, that kid's pretty good. He's working hard, and it's an impressive thing, I think. And it's non-invasive. You're not asking for anything. You're just saying, hey, I just want to let you know about XYZ. And hey, you know what? And I shoot out this thing that'll help you to kind of always let you know what your home is worth, what's going on in the neighborhood. Where do you want me to send it? Like, easy. Now, you got the open house. You've called the neighbors on Wednesday. I'm sorry, I don't want to. Maybe we skipped this. So, is there anything you're starting that on Wednesday?
Start on Wednesday.
You're having the open house.
That's going to take Wednesday and Thursday, and usually part of Friday. Okay, it's a lot of people. Doing 200-300 dials doesn't go super quick unless you have like a dialer. Obviously, you can do it a lot faster. Then we're also going to mega study the house itself. Okay, so when I say the house, not just the details like the square footage and the bedrooms and the baths, like I'm talking knowledge bomb, something that they cannot find. So I'm talking like the house that sold down the street 3 months ago. I want to know all the area stats. What is the average for sale, or what is the average over list price that it sells, or under list price? What is the average days on market in here? Did the last one fall out of escrow at any point? I'm going to call the agents before I host, the last listing agents on the other listings that sold in there, and literally say, hey, how did your last sale go? Like, I am going to be the inside scoop. So when they walk in my open house, they are like, holy moly. They are just like, it's impossible not to get impressed, walking in there, because the average agent knows, oh, hey, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, and it's a single-story home. We're like, thanks, Poindexter, for letting me know the house I just came to see. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just, I'm not trying to be rude.
The things I can already see for myself.
Agents are becoming a commodity because of that. And that's my big word here for agents on our team. We focus on not being a commodity, which means we have to have information they can't just get from Zillow. AKA the closed comps, the average over, all these little things. I want that information. So when they come in, it just comes out in your language. You don't even need to try to use it. Your brain wants to show off.
So you're literally calling the listing agents. Are you also calling the buy side agents for the deals that
Really
happen down the
depends. If
street,
it's like
or
a really niche area or something like
just
that, I would. But if it's like a standard cookie cutter, I'll call one or two listing agents, get some, see how their last sales were. So and somebody comes in, I go, hey, DJ, I know you said that this is maybe a perfect house for you guys. I just want to let you know the last house that sold down there had 17 offers, closed escrow in 10 days. So this is a pretty aggressive neighborhood. Let me ask you, what do you think you'd want to offer on the home? And it creates that, oh my God, I'm
wow,
working with the right person, is what it does.
yeah. I love that. And so, by the way, back to the cold call just for a
Yeah.
second. I wanted to ask this. What if somebody says, what's a mega open house? What's
I
the
love
answer to
that.
that?
So my personal response that I do this law, I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you haven't been able to witness a mega open house before. So I give this like apology, like, oh my God, so sorry you haven't been invited before. And they're like, what? And I go, a mega open house is when we're selling a home and we open the doors for business for the weekend. And our number one goal is to create a traffic jam. So I go, I apologize, and that's why I'm calling the neighborhood in advance, is because my literal goal with selling your neighbor's house is to create a traffic jam of people coming in. So I create the highest comp possible for the community, which obviously affects your home and
Right.
affects their home and makes the whole world go around. So I kind of just give that like, hey, so sorry you haven't heard of this before. Wow, like, let me tell you what this is. And I just, I talk about the traffic jam because we've done that multiple times where we've literally caused traffic jams, in neighborhoods. So I think it's a cool picture in people's heads, is like, wait, a traffic jam? They start picturing this open house with all these cars like kind of colliding in and, coming in. And so that's usually my little mini explanation of it.
So Zach just did something very skillful, and it's a subtle thing that you might not have picked up on. And I want to address this because if you identify the structure of what he's doing, you can apply this all throughout the sales marketing process or the sales cycle. Zach did something very, very clever. He identified a future problem for the guy across the street and offered a solution or offered a reason why it's actually a benefit to that person. So he said, hey, I'm really sorry, there's going to be a lot of traffic that day. I apologize for that. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want as many offers as I can for that house, because I want to drive up those comps so that you as well, the whole neighborhood will benefit from this. So he basically identified a potential issue where people go, oh, I don't want to deal with a traffic jam for my neighbor's house. Who cares? And then Zach goes, here's why you need to care. And here's why it's a minor inconvenience. And he basically just solved brought up a problem and addressed it and solved it and made it worth the person's time to go, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, cool. So I love
My
that. Super
favorite
skill.
line here, everybody should remember this. The only thing you should be thinking that's in your prospect's head is, what's in this for me?
Yeah.
They could care
Yeah.
less that I'm selling their neighbor's house and have an open house and all this stuff. Like you said, it's just this big inconvenience until I make it about them. Okay, so it's really important. One of my favorite phrases is, this benefits you because everyone will be like, oh my God, I have this amazing open house and this and that. And they'll hype up all this stuff. And then the homeowner is just like, that sounds cool. And I go, the reason this benefits you is because it's all about you, is because I'm going to boost the comps in the neighborhood. I'm going to break a neighborhood sale record. And I'm going to bring so much traffic in here that we're going to have so many offers that you may even want to look at one of those offers on your home. Like I'm hitting it hard, like, hey, this is valuable for you too, not just that homeowner. But it's that key phrase, it's valued to you because, and you get that reason on, this is why you should care about it, essentially. Because they don't care unless you tell them why they should care.
And everyone has that number that even though they don't want to move and they're not looking to list their home, everyone's got that number that if somebody threw that at them, they would move. Even they would give up that 3% mortgage if that number was high enough. And so it really gets the person thinking, Zach's driving up the comps. He wants a bidding war. Gosh, maybe I should check out, see what's going on here, see what this guy's all about, because maybe somebody would want to throw me a number that's pretty insane. So brilliant all the way around. Oh my gosh, so much value. We haven't even
gotten in the open house yet.
Okay, so now let's get to the open house. So now you're at the open house. People are coming in.
Okay,
what do you do?
So our open house has a few factors. One, first off, is signage. Okay, I ask a lot of agents, how many signs do you put out? And I'd say the average answer here is between 5 and maybe like 8, signs that people are putting out. So we have a minimum of 50, okay, that we put out. So we hire a sign guy. like a new build guy who, for our team listings, we go and have 50 signs put out. And that does not include the 15 signs that the agent's going to bring with their name, their phone number for inside of the neighborhood. So sometimes we'll have up to 65 signs for an open house. And I know some of you guys are like rolling your eyes. Well, like, of course they're busy. You can put out 65 signs. You guys, before we had a sign guy, our agents were doing this. We're just all about raising the value of our agents' times. We're like, I used to have an agent that would go do the signs at 5 in the morning. She would drive out, put out signs at like 4 or 5 a.m. when it's still dark out, no cars on the road, hammer everything, and then she'd be good. You know, it would take her like not that long. She's just being smart with her time. But so I know it sounds like a lot, but when an agent to the left of me has an open house that had 3 people through it, and then my agent to the right had 80 people through, and that's not some fake number. Last weekend, literally on a Sunday, not even a Saturday, a Sunday, our agent Reza had 80 people through his open house. I'm willing to put in the few extra hours to get 80 people through my open house. So signage is huge. Okay, I highly suggest get bright colors. We do like neon pink, neon blue, green, like our brand colors are black and gold. I wish we could do those everywhere, but they blend in. They do. They just, people don't read any of the writing or anything. They just see a big arrow, and they point in. So we're going from the freeway all the way to the house typically. Like we want to get people down that whole windy road, in. And then inside the neighborhood, we have our agents put 15 of their branded signs, their face, their name, their phone number. Because if all they have to do is sign inside of a neighborhood with 15 signs, you'll do that no problem. That's 30 minutes right there, just to put those out. And it's really dense.
So basically the cars are just following arrows.
I drove by a new build and said, why the heck are they allowed to have 100 signs out and 10-foot flags and all this stuff and we can't? And so I looked into it and I was like, oh, we can. People just don't do it. And so we have 2 17-foot tall flags that we put right in the front of the house. Okay, they're super easy. You can get them on Amazon for like $60, or something like that. And we just wham, stick them in. And people drive by and it looks like a freaking carnival, dude. Like it's just like it is. Like it looks like they're like, okay, whatever, there's an open house. Oh my God, there's the same sign. Oh my God, there's 3 of the same sign. Oh my God, we're going into our neighborhood and there's 5 signs 10 feet apart, all pointed in here. Like I have to go inside. Like I have to. So we're forcing it.
Plus how impressive, I'm sorry to interrupt, but plus how impressive that looks to the neighbors, right? Like we might be thinking, ooh, that's a little much. But, and yes, maybe it is much to some people, but if you're selling your home, you want as many people coming by as possible. So what you're really doing is conditioning the neighbors to go, this is how much I care. And nobody else has done this before. They've seen other homes for sale. It's quiet. There's one home there's a sign in the yard and that's probably about it. They're not seeing this level of activity and they're like, wow, this guy's really putting work in.
You guys, our average days on market right now is 14 days. And that's all of 2024 to this first quarter of 2025 average. And that's with a median price point, like I said, of right below $900,000. So like when I say we know how to sell homes, we're all about quick, highest number possible, sitting on market this 100 days, 120 days. Like it's just, if you take your per an hour value there, like all you're doing is lowering your value. So we hit super hard, super impressive. Okay, super high level right in the beginning, big flags, lots of signs, calling the neighbors, and then we finally get to the open house. Okay, and here's the key. If you guys have a pen and paper out, write this down. I'm about to drop the $300,000 script on you right now. Okay, no joke. This paid out $300,000 last year in GCI. They walk in the open house, and I go, hi, my name is Zach. So nice to meet you. Welcome to my open house. What's your name? DJ. Awesome, DJ. It's so nice to meet you. Okay, this house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot. Here's the flyer with all the information on the home. It has an ocean view deck off the top bedroom. I highly suggest you go check it out. And it's got a dog run over on the left-hand side, so I suggest you go see that as well. Take as much time walking around the open house as you would like. I just ask one favor, though. Can you meet me by the kitchen counter before you leave so I can ask you a few questions about the home? They go, yeah, of course. No problem. I just gave you everything you wanted. People walk in an open house and I hear the agent, can you sign in, please? Oh, hey, can you sign in, please? Oh, no, you have to sign in to get in. Okay. The people come in. I give them everything they want. I ask them my favor, which they say, of course, to, because I just gave them everything. The second they turn their body away from me, I go, oh, DJ, really quick, can I get you to sign in for the homeowner? And what they
Love
do
it.
is go in
I,
their brain,
of
oh, it
course.
wasn't the first
Yeah.
priority. It was just to get me to sign up for some sheet. It was a
Right.
second.
It's like almost an
It was an
afterthought. Yeah.
afterthought. And so, sure, I'm going to go put in my real phone number, my real email, my real name, because this guy seems like a good guy. Like he's not trying to just
Yeah.
force me through a registration sheet and then calling me a few days later, and blowing me up. Like, so you guys, there also, I'm sorry if anybody feels called out by this, okay? But the worst question in real estate that humanly exists is what brought you in today? What are you expecting them to say? I just don't get, oh, I'm here to buy a house. Like, I just, like, it's like, I'm assuming you're here to buy a house. You're inside an open house. So people walk in and I hear agents all the time, like, what brought you in today? Like, oh, we're just looking. And you're like, oh, okay, shoot, okay. And it instantly cuts it. You're just setting yourself up for failure. So instead of what brought you in today, move that over to the side and just, hey, gratitude. Thank you so much for coming into my open house today. I'm so grateful that you were able to come see me and my business today. So I don't have to hang out in the corner on Instagram for 3 hours and not get paid for any of my time. Thank you so much for coming in. Like, so grateful for you coming in my open house today. And you start with gratitude.
Yeah. It's funny. I think as you were saying this idea of, the, by the way, real quickly, could I get your email address? I think about this. There's so many applications for this. I was thinking the same idea when you walk into a clothing store and the salesperson comes up and the last thing you want them to do is come right up to you because you're like, I don't even know what I'm looking at yet. I'm here. But what they could do is they come and say, hey, I know you want to start browsing. I'm going to let you do that. Here's where your men's clothes over here, over here, over here. I'm going to leave you alone. Just wanted to let you know where things were. I'm here if you need me. And then they go, okay, cool. And they go, oh, hey, by the way, we send out a lot of coupons and offers. Can I just grab your email real quick? And then it's the same exact idea. And I don't know why restaurants don't do this before they seat you. There's so much opportunity here. So that is
the easy one because obviously everybody talks about car sales and us being used car salesmen. I know some great used car salesmen, you guys, just for everybody out there. But we have this rap. Like that. So I tell everybody, imagine even me, I go to a car lot and I go, oh my God, where is he going to come out of? He's going to pop out of the back of the truck. Is he going to walk from the corner? Like, where is this guy going to come out of and not leave me alone? Because it is like a stereotype for that. And even I think it, like, and I'm in sales. So I imagine this, and I told this to a car sales guy and he crushes it. Imagine somebody walks on the lot. They walked up and they said, hey, DJ, really quick, I'm going to let you look around and take as much time as you would need. I just wanted to give you a quick update. So all the Toyotas are over here. All the mid-size vans are over here. The trucks, are back over there. Once again, take as much time to look around as you'd like. I just ask one favor. Can you stop by the front office before you go? That way I can just ask you a few questions about your vehicle purchase. And they'd be like, oh my God,
easy. Sure.
Thank you. They'd be like, that's amazing. And then as I turn around, I'd be like, oh, really quick, could I get your contact information just so I could send you over? Like, we have some cars, we're doing some amazing deals on. And then it's like this secondary thought and they feel comfortable doing it. So that's crucial. Stop forcing people to sign in right when they walk in the house. Give them all the value first. Law of reciprocity kicks in and they end up giving you what you want back now, without even thinking about it.
I love it. Okay, so any other tips for the open house, or is that are you have refreshments? Do you have food? What are you doing that way or not? Rule of 3:
look good, feel good, smell good. That goes for you and for the house. Okay, that's a rule of thumb. You should look good, feel good, and hopefully you smell good. Okay, same with the house. Hopefully it should look good. It's cleaned. Okay, there's not stuff everywhere. You have the closets closed, the toilet seats down, windows open, feel good. Okay, get it a good temperature in there. Nobody wants to walk in this freaking, warm, sweaty, open house. Okay, and then smell good. Make it smell good. You guys, you don't go spray Febreze everywhere. Okay, that just suffocates people. Like, just go.
Yeah.
I
Nobody wants
literally
that.
got stuck
Yeah.
one time at open house. It smelled terrible and I didn't have anything on me. They had a bunch of lemons. So I turned on the hot water and just squeezed a ton of lemons like in the sinks and stuff. And the house smelled like fresh lemons. One of the best feedback I got actually was, wow, the house smells great. And I was like, thanks, appreciate it. But so look good, feel good, smell good. Okay. Feel good would mean music, the echoes. You walk in an open house and you're, and you hear yourself echoing in the rooms. Nobody wants to be there. Okay. So they get out as quick as possible.
Right.
Food, we don't do like big cookie platters, or anything like that. We'll do like some chocolates or, something really small, and easy. And then drinks is our big trick. A lot of people I walk in, they got like a $60 bottle of champagne. And I'm just like, damn, man, you're like, like, I guess you're crushing it, with your open houses. You guys, we use $2 bottles of champagne. Like, buy a bunch of bottles of champagne. They're not there for the quality of champagne. They're there for the house. The champagne's a bonus. Right. Okay, so get yourself some cheap champagne, pour it in some glasses and just look good, feel good, smell good. You're running a good open house at that point.
Love it. So now they've left the open house. They've gone about their day. You've got their contact information. Maybe they stopped by and talked to you, or maybe they didn't, but you've got their info, so it doesn't matter. So, by the way, just out of curiosity, what percentage stopped by you on the way out? I know you don't probably care so much about it, but just curious, like what percentage?
That's my favorite question, because everybody thinks it's really low. They think it's like 50%, 25. I've gotten thrown out there. It's like over 80%. I'm not even joking. As long as you nail.
Wow, that is so shocking.
I'm telling you, it's shocking because it's two parts on this. Okay, one, it's the law of reciprocity. Okay, sure, that part's really important. You gave them everything. You made their life easy. What happens when you make someone's life easy is they make your life easy in return. Okay, and they don't make your life hard. You make somebody's life hard, aka you force them to sign in within the first 2 seconds. You just made their life harder. They're going to make your life harder, and they're going to get the heck out of that open house, and not answer the phone for you, not talk to you, give you a fake phone number. aka my life is harder now because of that. The second one, this is the key word here, is favor. Favors make people feel good. People like doing favors for other people. Now, a request is very different. Hey, DJ, I'm going to ask that you meet me by the kitchen counter before you leave. That's very different.
Yeah, that doesn't feel the same.
It's a request is very different. We actually don't like requests. We don't like when people request things from us typically, unless it's a home evaluation or a showing. But it's that favor. Hey, DJ, would you mind doing me a favor? And they go, yeah, of course. I go, now it feels weird when I go meet me at the kitchen counter. They go, yeah, of course, that'd be great. It feels weird for them to just leave. Like, they're like, oh, okay, we got to stop. We got to at least stop and say hi. And the second they walk up to the counter, this is super important because this is your ending really to your open house. Okay. They walk up to the counter. They walk up. I go, hey, DJ, wow, you guys got some time to look around the house. Let me ask you, do you want to write an offer? Okay.
Love it.
Your worst question is, how did you like the house? That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, right. Nobody wants to answer that.
Hard. No. Well, then they start thinking about the downstairs.
There's things I like. There's things I didn't like.
It just is hard. I like yes or no questions to start always. Yes or no. So, hey, DJ, ranking the house on a scale, of 1 to 10, what would you rank the home at? 8. Awesome. Exciting. Does an 8 mean you want to write an offer? Okay. You have to ask about the offer. I see so many people just letting people leave out the open house. Like, I'll call them later, and I'll follow up with them. They'll be good. No, not at all. Like, my successful open house on a Saturday means I signed an agreement or I'm writing an offer, and I get a lot of kickback on this from other teams, other agents, other everything, where they're like, it's kind of pushy, and it's kind of this. I go, tell that to all my agents that have escrows right now for open houses on the open house they held. And all they're doing is, oh yeah, you want to write an offer on it? They go, yeah, it's actually a really nice house. And they go, awesome. Has anyone walked you through the 7 steps of a winning offer? They haven't. Oh my gosh, we need to set up a call later tonight when I'm done with the open house and work on this winning offer for you. But you just need to ask, you guys. In this world, you need to ask for what you want. You can't just expect it to fall in your lap. So if you're not asking them for what you want, they're not going to give it to you. I want to write an offer on this house. So I'm going to ask people to write an offer on this house. And one of them is probably going to do it.
Yeah, it's funny. I was when I moved into my when I moved into the condo I currently live in, it was a new development, and the developer, or actually a representative for the developer, came along on one of the showings because he had to let us in because it was still being constructed and they had certain access I couldn't get to. So he walks us over, and he's not the agent. He's just the guy working for the developer. And we asked him, well, what about this or this? We asked our agent, what about this or this or this? Because we didn't know all the answers. And he says, write an offer and find out. And he was kind of being cheeky and a little funny. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. He probably would. They're going to answer these questions, which were like, could you do this for us? Could you do this for us? They want to see that we're serious. And it made me think, holy crap, I got to write an offer because, and he's a good guy. I didn't think he was being pushy. He was just trying to get these things sold. And there's something about this idea that what you said is are you ready to make an offer? Would you like to make an offer? Is you're presupposing that people want to make offers, and psychologically there's a little bit of an urgency aspect to it. Now again, you're not a creepy sales guy, so you don't have to worry about being a creepy sales guy. You're just not. So you can say things that maybe other person might sound like a creepy sales guy doing it. Don't worry, you're not that person. You're a good person. So this idea of, hey, do you want to make an offer? And it's not, I'm trying to sell you this home. It's just so first of all, they're going to see all the traffic going in and out. They're going to understand that there's urgency, and you're actually helping them. You're actually saying, hey, are you thinking about making an offer? It's important that I know this because there's a lot of people coming through.
And honestly, once again, this is a big one. You guys, you're selling the house. That's your job. Yeah. Your job isn't to be a buyer's agent and standing inside of an open house. That doesn't make a ton of sense. So like I see it a lot. Buyers walk up to the counter, or they call their, the open house, visitor like a few days after, something like that. And they're just like, so why don't you break down for me what you're looking for in a home? I'm like, bro, how about sell that house first? The second they say no to that house, then I can be the buyer's agent. So if I go, hey, DJ, do you want to write an offer on this house? You liked it? And they go, oh, no. We just started looking. How exciting. Why don't you break down for me what you're looking for in a new home? Now I can be the buyer's agent, and step in and be this. But you guys, people want to work with an impressive agent in general. So be the impressive agent at your job that you're there, to be at, AKA selling the house. So try to sell the house. It'd be like being inside of Target. You walk inside a Target. You're like, hey, I want to check out with this clothing on. I'm like, hey, do you actually know they have this cheaper over at Walmart? I'd be like, you're weird. I'd be like, what? I just want to buy this right now. Like, I don't know. That's weird to me. I'm not going to go drive to Walmart now. Like, you should be selling me on this shirt that I have in my hand, right here. So that's what you're doing inside of the open house. So you're literally, somebody's walking into Best Buy and you're saying it's cheaper over at Target. It's just weird. Yeah, it's a weird mental thing.
Okay, so now they've left. You've got their contact information at the beginning. You 80% of the time are getting some sort of conversation at the end of the open house, which is finding out how interested they are, whether they want to make an offer on this one or they're looking at other properties. Either way, it's a win for you. If they have another agent, obviously you'll find that out. And then now the open house is concluded. So now, what's the follow-up process? What are you doing that either evening or
this next? This is my favorite, one of my favorite parts of the process. Typically, because of the face I get when we talk about it, 21 touches in 7 days. Is what an open house lead should have the following 7 days. Of coming into your open house. That's going to be calls. That's going to be emails. That's going to be text messages. It's going to be property alerts. It's going to be videos. So our actual plan, and once again, you guys can literally write this down. Is the day of the open house, not Monday. Saturday after the open house, we're calling them. If they don't answer the phone, we're taking a video from inside the open house. So a lot of our agents will just do this before they leave the open house. They take the video and say, hey, DJ, it was such a pleasure meeting you at my open house today. I just want to, I'm working hard on exactly what we talked about, and I'd love to set up, whatever it is, it's there. But so it's a call, they don't answer. Then they get a text with a video, and they're getting a property alert all on the same day, no matter what. Like, that is the key.
So it's three touches right there.
The second you wait till Monday, they've gone in 7 other open houses. Every other agent's calling them on Monday. You guys need to stop watching what all these other agents are doing and copying them, because the fact that 70% of agents didn't do a deal last year and you're following what all those other agents are doing, it's just, or one deal, it's just like, that's a hard one where nobody's calling them day of. Do what nobody else is doing. Call them day of. Get them on a property alert. Send them the video. Hey, it was so nice to meet you. I'm so grateful for having you in my world now. What can I do to assist you in buying a home? Something. Like, it doesn't matter. Just be impressive and be there. Don't wait till Monday like everybody else. And it's just average. They sense it.
How are you taking notes along the way to make sure you remember anything of note? Because you have to be taking notes. So how are you doing that? Are you using a digital system? Are you using pen and paper? What
We're
works
big
for you?
on tech, and very luckily, my business partner Brett, computer major, so we get to use his tech brain, for everything. But we use a system called Lofty as our CRM. If you ever heard of Lofty, okay,
Yeah,
cool. We've been with them for
sure.
probably when they were Chime, originally for about honestly, it's probably been over 5 years now, actually, that we've been with them. It's been a long time. But so we use the virtual sign-in sheet, and one of my favorite parts of it is that right after the lead submits, it leaves this little window right there for the agent to go and put in a few notes really quick and then submit, and it goes in with the lead. Outside of that, they have a pen and paper. I'm big on letting people see that I'm taking notes. I think agents try to hide, like, oh my god, I don't want them to see my pen and paper that I have here in my notes. You guys, it's good when the waiter doesn't wipe down my order in front of my face.
Yeah, you freak out a little bit. You're like,
I'm like,
did you
it's
get
not
that?
coming back right. This dude just screwed up my whole night. My dinner's gonna come out wrong. And that's right where my brain is at. Where if somebody's in front of me just writing, okay, they're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, yeah, da da da. It's impressive. It just means you are actually listening to what's going on. So if it's after they come to the kitchen counter, they're typically doing it on a notepad, so they can witness you taking
Sure.
notes.
Okay, got it. So you're doing the 3 touches. We don't have to go through every touch, but basically you're continuing a version of that cycle for the next, what, you said 7
Yep.
days
So
or so?
21 touches for 7 days is the goal. After that, it will typically bounce back to a few times a week, like 2 or 3 times a week. We have an ISA team that calls our open house leads, as well, just to make it easy. So the agent's getting their touches, then the ISA is coming in and getting the touches. Typically, within about 90 days, we can call a lead bunk, or not bunk. And it's not that we throw them away. We just move them kind of out of our face and let some AI and emails and stuff work on them. Like, we want to get the hot ready to go. That's why our agents all do 4 open houses a month. Okay, it's just our standard that we hold. It's 4 open houses because we know out of 4 open houses we're gonna get at least 1 escrow. Like, it's just, I use Sisu. If anybody's here heard of Sisu, shout out Brian and Spring. Oh my gosh, Sisu's freaking amazing. So it's no guessing here. Like, I know 4 open houses gets us at least 1 escrow. It's math.
It's really unbelievable. We're talking about just running a system that we know other agents are not willing to do. The other agents, you really don't have any competition when it comes to other open houses. Nobody's seen anything like this before. The experience for the customer walking in is a positive experience. You're giving them value. You're leaving them alone. You're doing all the things they want you to do, and you're still getting the information you want. And now they're in your database. And Zach knows something very, very important. This important statistic, and he might even have a different number than I have. But I asked ChatGPT this, and this is what ChatGPT says. And Zach now has these people in his database, and he knows that at least 10 to 15% of every one of those people in his database is going to use a real estate agent in the next 12 months. That's just what the numbers say. So the more people he's got in that database, not just the people he has in the database, the people he has in there, the number of them, and the number of times he's branding himself and reminding those people, I'm a professional, this is what I do, I'm here to help, blah, blah, blah. He is going to win the majority of those deals. So you are just expanding your database every single weekend.
Yes, we have a CRM right now that has 1.5 million people inside of it. I see agents show me databases that they're like, dude, my CRM is so busy, I can barely keep up with my task. Oh my gosh, they open it, there's like 50 people inside. I'm like, man, we got 1.5 million people inside of here. Like, we're rolling. I'm all about the mass. Bring me the homeowners, bring me the buyers, bring me expired, bring me everybody here and put them in my bubble. Because I just want to look impressive.
All right. Well, you are impressive to me as somebody who interviews top agents all over the country. You absolutely, without exception, have the best open house strategy I've ever heard of. It's an absolute no-brainer. Does it require more work? Sure it does. So does everything in life that's worthwhile. It requires a little bit more work, but it's work that it's worth that. Yeah, it's worth it. It's not, there's no worrying because you've set up yourself to win and you're willing to put in the work to do that. Okay. So